Today is the solemnity of the most Holy Trinity. The Holy Trinity Sunday. Trinity Sunday. Happy feast day, Trinity Sunday. And as we look at Trinity Sunday, we as Americans, we're very pragmatic. That's one of the things that we have very much in common with the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire was very pragmatic. They were inventive, very artistic. You know, they can make things. And it did well with that. The aqueduct system, the road system, everything. We're kind of the same way in that. We're very inventive. We're very pragmatic. And so when we look at Trinity Sunday, the first question in our mind is always, whenever we deal with anything, is, so what? What's the big deal? I don't understand, right? What does that mean to me, practically speaking? And, well, the question really is answered here in a roundabout way in the responsorial psalm. So when you look at what the responsorial psalm says, so let me read what it says here. When I behold your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars which you set in place, what is man that you should be mindful of him? Or the Son of Man that you should care for him? You have made him little less than angels and crowned him with glory and honor. You have given him rule over the works of your hands, putting all things under his feet. All sheep and oxen, yes, the beasts of the field, the birds of the air, and fishes of the sea, and whatever swims in the paths of the seas. This is a psalm of Trinity Sunday. Now, at first hearing this, what in the world does this have to do with Trinity Sunday? I'm sure they could have pulled out something more majestic or something like that for Trinity Sunday, but they used this psalm for Trinity Sunday. Why? It doesn't look like there's anything here that has anything to do with the Trinity on this psalm. Well, when you look a little bit closer, when I behold your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars which are set in place. Talking about creation. God created all these things. And then it goes into, what is man that you are mindful of him? Well, how did God create man? He has dominion over the seas. We can create things in a certain sense. We make things, we create things with God, give power of the works of his hands, over the works of your hands. You have given him rule over the works of your hands. We have power of creation with God. So in a certain sense, what he's getting at here is the book of Genesis. In God's own image, he made them. We are made in God's very image. What is the image of God? The Holy Trinity. In our own image, he made them. Our own image, plural. Now, there might have been a time when maybe the Jewish people didn't understand what that meant, but there it is. In our image. Now as Christians, we understand and we know this to be the blessed Trinity, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. And we look a little bit deeper. What is God? God is love. In his image, we are made. In love's, in the Trinity's very image, we are made. We look at the dignity of that. I find it ironic that when we are made in the image of the Trinity, right? And we bow down. Every knee shall bend before the Holy Trinity. Every knee shall bend before the Holy Trinity. What does that say about the dignity of every human person? Of you? You see, in philosophy, if you make something, the inventor, whoever makes something, gets to name it and kind of declares to us what is its nature. So take, for example, a toaster. A toaster is a toaster. We kind of know what the nature of a toaster is, right? It toasts bread. That's what it does. That is its essence. What is our essence? We are made by the Trinity, for the Trinity, and we end in the Trinity. The Trinity is our beginning, the Trinity is our end, the Alpha and the Omega. It is our very purpose of being. The very purpose of the being of a toaster is to toast toast. Its beginning is humanity, and its end, its life, is to serve humanity, and its end is to be recycled and to serve humanity again. A little bit different than we are created. And that's something different the way God creates us. Not as humanity does He create. But in the essence, if I were to take a toaster and say, take it out of its use, of its context, of what it was designed for, I end up breaking it, right? And then bad things happen. So like if I were to take a toaster and to say, I want to heat the bathtub water with it, bad things are going to happen, right? That's not good, right? And then maybe sometimes we use it for other things, and what happens? We end up with maybe burnt toast. Do we feel like burnt toast at times? Are we misusing our humanity? You see, there's a lot of voices in the world today that tells us what the essence of humanity is, and they're wrong. You see, to a politician, the essence to humanity and to every human being, the essence of you is a vote. To those who advertise, you are their pocketbook. To those who sing songs and sell CDs and music, you are somebody who's going to buy their music and adore them. Right? To somebody who's a Marxist, they think the essence of humanity is somebody who strives for power through money. And by golly, everybody else is trying to do the same to you, to have power over you, so you must overcome them and eradicate it. We have all these different voices telling us of what the essence of humanity is. And they end up using us. And we end up hurting. And it causes suffering in our souls. But because we have succumbed to the ideas of the world. We've succumbed to their ideology, their slavery, to what they think humanity is. But God tells us what humanity is. In the image and likeness of God. Now, when we look at something in its essence, that tells us what is good and bad. It governs everything, the whole philosophy and how I use a toaster. My whole interaction with the toaster, because I know its use, is guided by what I know it's used for, to toast bread. If I'm going to try to heat the bathtub water, if I'm going to try to do something else with it, it doesn't work, right? Things break and go wrong. That's what happens to us in our humanity. We break things. But when we do things right, things go well, hopefully. Hopefully the manufacturer is good. A human manufacturer is not like a manufacturer of God. But when we look at that, in our humanity, we start to see the beauty in which God created us. We're made for Him. We're made for love. That is our essence. Now, how often are we led by that idea? You see, we listen to these other people in the world who tell us, no, you're supposed to be warming up the heater. And we fry out. What are we listening to? Are we listening to people on the TV? Are we listening to the politicians? Who are we listening? Are we listening to the commercials? What are we listening to? What kind of ideology are they spreading on us, on our humanity? See, when we listen to these things, they steal away our dignity. We bend our knee before the Trinity. We are made in that very same Trinity's image. We are a living image of that. Not only that, but we have the Holy Spirit dwelling within us. Not just in your souls, in your body. In your body lives the entire Trinity. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Where one is, all of them live. Now, when we go out there and we listen to the TV, listen to the music, how does that compare with the good news of the gospel of Jesus Christ? With the good news that you are made in the dignity of God. When we listen to our music, does it really raise us up, or does it lower our standards? When we listen to the politicians, do they twist words around as they give you their smile? Because they know they're lying. How are we living that out? Whose voice are we listening to? Are we going to live out the dignity that we are truly made in?